All right, that was that. So when it comes to TRVL, we have a big week ahead of us, and we have to see how that week develops, because there's a lot of things coming. And so the weekly candle, dare I say it, is bearish. Another bearish weekly candle. It's a red hammer into the high of this local range. You know, it's not a crazy bullish candle. This is the range. It's a red hammer into the highs of this range. However, something of note is that the weekly 50 moving average has dipped and the price has held the 50 moving average. That's the only thing that makes me think, wait a minute, even though the candle might be bearish, the fact that we're holding above this weekly 50 moving average is bullish. So there's a little bit of divergence in the information that I'm getting from the charts at the moment. And it's not easy. It's not easy to read the charts right now. It'd be a lot easier if there was like big moves. Right now we're getting a constriction of price. It is bullish in the sense of this idea that it was a bearish week and the volume wasn't bad. It was pretty good volume and the price went nowhere. That's, in my mind, that is bullish. You know, when the bears are in control and all they're able to do is move the price down by not even 1%. Yeah. So in that sense, it is bullish. The candle might be bearish, but it is giving you bullish signals. And the bullish signals are that the bears are in control and they literally weren't able to do anything with the price. They weren't able to move the price. So a bearish, if the bears are truly in control, then the price should have closed below the previous week low for a bearish reversal in that candle. And basically it hasn't happened. The bulls have managed to buy the price all the way back up, but they haven't managed to buy it above the week open. It's slightly lower, so in that sense it's not crazy bullish either. So the bulls are showing strength, the bears are showing weakness, but we're still in a very kind of decisive place for the charts. The other thing is that this is KuCoin, and that weekly candle clearly shows that we're holding this higher time frame trend line, which we've broken. That's like a hold. If we get another hold above that line, then I think the bulls are going to have more confidence to enter, because now clearly that line is being held. All right, whether we go back down to test it one more time or not, I have no idea, but I am seeing that there's a lot of strength in the price action. There's a lot of strength. I can't see much weakness at the moment. I just can't see it. The 3-day candle closes today, and that's a very strong close if it closes like this. The reason why it's a strong close is because if the bears were in control, you would expect it to close less than 50% of the previous candle body, and at the moment it's not. At the moment it's looking like a strong close. If that closes there, that's a strong close for the bulls. Yeah, so there are some signals of what could be bearish, but really what they are telling us that it's more bullish. I think that's what I'm seeing. We had a little dip last night. When I zoom into the price action, I'll show you. We had a few market sells, and let me have a look at the other exchanges as well, just to see what the other. Yeah, a few market sells on the way down. Bit of market selling. So buy bit. A little bit of market selling. But really the price is being absorbed. That's what I'm seeing, a little bit of an absorption. And if I get rid of this moving average now. Let me have a look at the indicators. Yeah, I'm seeing quite significant absorption in the price actually, because the price is coming down, but the CCI is like really pushing lows into the lows. And so there's a little bit of divergence. The price is not really going down as much as the CCI, you know. It's the CCI has gone from the top to bottom, and the price has only really gone a little bit down. So I'm seeing a lot of absorption now with the price. People have clearly putting limit orders in to absorb the price clearly. So anyone who's market shorting is only going to be shorting into bigger limit longs at the moment. That's what I'm seeing. And naturally what happens is the price quickly reverses because the price is being absorbed. Look at this. This is bullish divergence. I'll show you. This is the 4-hour chart. Here, do you see this is this low here, this crop of lows here. On the CCI, it was here. And then here on the CCI, we made a lower low on the CCI. So the CCI went lower. And look at the price. The price is much higher. See that? So even though the CCI is lower, the price is higher. So that is massive absorption longs, limit longs, massive absorption. The CCI is going down, the price is higher, right? So that's what I'm seeing in this, which is a really bullish sign. There's a lot of interest in TRVL at these prices at the moment, and I think everyone is doing a good job in, in putting their limit longs and absorbing this price, because eventually what's going to happen in time, now if we don't go up impulsively, that's fine. I think most people don't mind that. Most people don't mind if we don't get an impulsive move just yet, because it's actually more bullish, much more bullish in the long run for us to just take like steps, you know, steps. Much more bullish for the price to slowly go up. I think most people want this to slowly go up and not to impulsively go up just yet. Yeah. And what in my mind, what I'm thinking, and of course we all want that crazy impulse. Of course, no one's saying I'm not saying I don't want an impulsive move. Of course I want that, but it would be nice to put more volume down in these lows. It would be nice to get back up to a much higher level before we impulse away, you know, to create a really strong foundation where people have time to accumulate at the lows, and then the impulsive move will clear us out of the lows, and then I don't see us coming back in. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, at any time in the future, a dip is also possible. A crazy dip is. You always have to be ready for that when it comes to any asset, any coin, any marketplace. You always have to be ready. And keep on reminding people, for whatever reason, the reasons that you don't know, you always have to be ready for this. And the only way to be ready for that is to not be greedy and to be all in. You have to have capital ready for that, because lo and behold, the price does one day do that randomly for no reason. If you don't have capital on the side to suck that up, to buy that dip, it's going to be really quite frustrating. And even though there's probably going to be some kind of V shape and nothing, you would not have capitalized from that behavior, that move. It'd be nice to capitalize from a sudden 40% drop in price. And I think a lot of people are ready to jump in if that happens. I'm ready to jump in if that happens. I'm literally ready to catch the falling knife if I suddenly see some kind of dip like that. And the reason why I'm ready to do that is because of all this price action. What I'm seeing with this consolidation range, I think this gives me the confidence. Gives me the confidence to be willing to do that. If I take a volume pool from the lows, the all-time low to current, we're in the top of the range. We're above the point of control. We're still in the value area. Naturally speaking, I expect us to maybe start moving up faster if we flip this higher time frame 236 on the KuCoin chart into support. I would be expecting us to be a bit more kind of, it'll start moving up a little bit faster if that happens. At the very least, if that was to happen, if we were to be able to get up there and back test it for support, then I think it's going to give a lot of people confidence. I think we see a lot less selling, because naturally people are selling because we're into resistance. You know, that's the reason why you sell. You're into resistance, you sell. The minute you flip that resistance level, and it's a higher time frame level going all the way back to May 2022, the minute you flip that level into support, you wouldn't sell anymore because you're on support. You've clearly flipped a higher time frame level from resistance to support. Why would you sell? You don't sell support, you buy support. Yeah, so that's going to be a really big step for us in terms of price action. And of course I always have that ADA fractal in the back of my mind. I'm also wondering whether we've changed our destiny by talking about it and by visualizing it and by potentially expecting it. You know, I almost think that sometimes when you preempt the future, you can change the future, because you've preempted the future. So now the future isn't going to happen the way you preempted. You've prejudiced the future now. And so just by identifying the ADA fractal, maybe we've averted it. Maybe. I don't know, but I'm hoping so, simply because I don't want to go down and make another all-time low. I don't fit. That doesn't give me good vibes. I don't get good vibes from new lows. I get good vibes from new highs. And so going back to the ADA fractal one more time, you know, how annoying would it be for us to suddenly drop down to 1 cent from 4 cents? You know, that would be a lot. That'd be quite miserable for most people. I think it would be the buy of the century. But you're going to basically, for that to happen, we're going to be a period of uncertainty for a good part of three weeks. 3 weeks of uncertainty. And I think there's going to be, it would potentially be a bloodbath in the Telegram channel. And I don't think the Dtravel team deserve that, because I think they're putting in their utmost effort to do what's right and do what's best for the DAO, you know. And so unfortunately people won't necessarily give them the time and the patience they deserve if that was to happen. So hopefully what I would prefer is, at the very worst case scenario, we just have we do get a pullback, we get a small dip back into the point of control to go up. You know, that would be, in my mind, I would love that opportunity to buy back at the point of control one more time before we impulse out of this low. Maybe that's when the impulse begins. I have no idea. But I think in my mind, it would be better to try and flip this level into support a bit higher first. If we can slowly accumulate the price and get above there first, I think that would be better. Let me also go back to my fib time, because I think that's important, because I'm keeping an eye on the fib time too. So so our fib time is coming in on the week of 16th of March. It's about 6 weeks away. And actually, I really don't mind if the price doesn't do anything for the next 6 weeks. I would be okay with that if it just went sideways for 6 more weeks. Because then I would really love an impulsive move on fib time. I would really love that. That would be really fascinating for me to experience, to see the fact that fib time is actually on time. Like it's the math and the psychology is coming together to create an equilibrium and a synchronization in the way the price is moving. That would be really nice to see. This is the 3-day chart. Basically, it's the weekly chart that I'm looking at. So it's the week of the 18th of March, actually. And if we can get an impulse from there, let's see where that's kind of what I'm imagining would be good. And then if we can get it up all the way to 20 cents, that would be amazing. Go up to 20 cents. Up to 20, back to 9. And then pushing up all the way up to above the all-time high. Coming back to the all-time high. And then for a last push up, that would be like the best price action for this token. I think everyone will be happy if we have that kind of behavior. And I think everyone would be really happy. Like, it doesn't really matter when you come in, because even if you came in on the 4, and if we were at the all-time high at the 4, who cares? Someone's coming in at the 4. They're still potentially making 5x on their investment. Who cares? They came in at 1.6. If they can walk away with 11 or 10 or $11 after coming in at 1.6, fine. You know, surely the latecomers are going to get punished. Surely, but they're going to get punished. It's not, you know, it's not. It's life. It's not. I'm not going to feel sympathy for them. Any questions? Is it just me? What's going on? Everyone's quiet. I know there's people here. David? So really the best long or short would be some absorption and a bit of liquidation. Are you talking about Bitcoin or TRVL? All right. I don't really have anything to say about TRVL. Let me see. Let me see what's going on in the Telegram quickly. People are quite interested in the Telegram. Not everyone has access to it for some reason. I have no idea why. There was a bit. I'll go back to Bitcoin in a second. So Telegram, we have some conversations going here. A lot of conversations. I'm not going to go through it. Smitty asks, Did you figure out what technicals the algos are trading off yet? And that's a really good question. And no, I haven't figured it out yet. I'm not sure our market maker's that great, to be honest with you. I don't have much confidence in them. So go back to KuCoin. For Bitcoin, I use this leveled by in silico, and I know the algos are using that on Bitcoin, so I'm keeping an eye on it on TRVL to see if that's showing me anything. And basically this tells you market absorption and market for longs and for shorts. So it prints out these white lines for longs and these red lines for shorts. But honestly, I've only been looking at this indicator for a short while, so I have no idea if algos are using it, but I know on Bitcoin they do use it. So it's something to bear in mind if you want to get it and have a look for yourself. It's this one, the whatever it is, by in silico, and you have to use these inputs, 300, 10, and that doesn't matter, it's the thickness. So use those inputs. I don't know, maybe the inputs can be changed to see if it has better values, but basically what happens is you suddenly on the basically the 1 hour and the 5 minute are the best ones, but every time frame has its exhaustion levels, and what happens is that it's suddenly it prints these lines and then they become your exhaustion lines for sellers and for buyers, and each time frame has exhaustion levels, and it's basically market exhaustion. And so the idea is that if the price goes up into this level, that's a good place to sell, because the market is now exhausted and you're expecting a pullback, and vice versa. If the price suddenly goes down into this level, the market sales are being exhausted. It's an exhaustion level, and then it's a good place to buy, because that's what you want to do. You want to buy it when the sellers are exhausted, and vice versa. When the buyers are exhausted, you want to sell. And so I think it's it might be worth just getting this indicator, because on Bitcoin it definitely does work, and on a lot of altcoins it does work too. And so I'm just keeping an eye on it to see if I can see anything. I mean, I can look, you can see, look, you've got this 4 hour exhaustion level, and the price is clearly reacting off it. See that? And the idea with this this indicator is that if you get a situation where the price, here I'll show you, you get a situation where the price hugs it, then basically it's about to break. It breaks. That's kind of what it is. And the idea is that when you get into a level, it's meant to now go the other way around. It's meant to turn. But I'm still kind of like observing to see if I'm not even showing you because I didn't change my screen. How annoying is that? So annoying. Right, let me go back to the, here it is again. So everything I said, this is the indicator. Leave Lelid C by in silico. These are the values, 300, 10, and that doesn't matter. And so you basically, on each time frame, you'll get these lines printed. So in the 1 hour time frame, let me just clear all my drawings. In the 1 hour time frame, there's no levels. There's much higher up. So up there at 9 cents, you have an exhaustion level. See that red line? And lower down at 2.2, you have an exhaustion level. And so basically this is saying that once the price gets down there, the sellers are exhausted. And once the price gets up there, the buyers are exhausted. And each time frame has its own exhaustion level. So on the 4 hour time frame, we're into an exhaustion level. But what tends to happen is as the price starts to test it and hug it, eventually it breaks, it flips it into support, and it carries on. That's kind of the way of seeing how this behaves. And then every time frame has an exhaustion level. So right now there's an exhaustion level on the daily time frame at 9 cents. So you would expect the price, if it gets up there, for the buyers to get exhausted at 9 cents on the daily time frame. So it'd be a good place to sell. That's what this is telling me. If the price that manages on the daily time frame to get down to 1.9 cents, that's a good place to buy. But I think these are quite higher time frame levels, and obviously on the weekly there's nothing. There's not enough data. On the 3-day there's nothing. So in the daily is the first higher time frame levels that have been printed. And what I've noticed with these exhaustion levels, I just hide all this data. Sometimes in the past, like we had these selling exhaustion levels, and then what happens is in the future they're still relevant. So even though they're no longer relevant with the current price action, oh, if I can draw a straight line, they still relevant in the future. See that? So, and the other thing I've noticed about these levels is the previous levels, once they are broken, they are kind of like SR flips as well. Once you break them, they'll come back to test. So I think a lot of algos use this on a lot of different assets, little tokens. And I think what we have to do is to see if we get similar kinds of behavior where the algos are using this on this chart, and to see which time frames are the most effective. So I know in some charts the 1 hour and the 5 minute are really effective, and sometimes it's higher time frame, sometimes it's the 4 hour, or sometimes it might even just be the daily. Yeah, and so this is, I'm keeping an eye on this to see if I see any similarity in behavior. But when you do use this indicator, you can't use anything else. Like, you kind of throw everything else out, you just focus on this indicator. And yeah, like you have to use this indicator on its own really. And maybe you might use a moving average as well, just to see the momentum of the move of the price action, because you always want to buy in the direction of the momentum or sell in the direction of momentum. You don't want to go against the market momentum when you're buying and selling. That's not advisable. And so right now, clearly, like on the 1 hour, you can see that there is an exhaustion level which is no longer relevant, but it's still relevant. And as you keep on testing it, what you want to do is you'll see that the price will flip it into support, and then it will go up. Right? And then you're going to come into the next exhaustion level there, and that's a good place to sell. That'll be a good place to sell. It's really easy to see that with this indicator. And we don't have any buying exhaustion levels yet. But what you'll see in the future is suddenly you'll see a white line will start printing somewhere, and then that will be a really good place to buy off. So at the moment we don't have that, but if it prints, then that will be your, like we saw that we still, none of our buying exhaustion levels have, the price hasn't reached it yet. So we've only had 2 on this 1 hour chart. We haven't reached them yet. So then in that case, what you would be thinking of, well, look at the previous exhaustion levels and then flip them into support to buy. So that was a good SR flip. It lost it, but as it came back down, see, it held, came back up. And we had the same one with this one here. So you see, the price went up, and as it came back down, it flipped it. It was a good place to buy this previous exhaustion level. So that's something to, like, I don't know if this is good or not. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it. And it's specifically an answer to Smitty's question about the algos, the bots. And I do know that the bots and the algos use this one in other markets, and so it's good to just see if it's being used here as well. Right, so it's this one, LEVE LEDC by Insilico, and then just use these inputs. And it might be worth changing the inputs as well to see if some other inputs have more relevance as well. Like, I mean, this is something to play with, but this isn't the default setting. This is the setting that I got from a really good trader who trades Bitcoin. All right, so that's an answer to that, Smitty. I think, don't know if that helped or not, but we can work. If you have any ideas, you know, just throw it out and I'll have a look. We can all have a look together. Then we're going to go back to the Telegram. Dickie's asking some questions about BEP20. David is saying that indicator isn't public, it's private or costs something. No, I don't think it's private, David. I think it's public. I just think no one knows about it. We didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for that. Jordan is in Canada. So there's a problem with the BEP20 on. There's a real problem with, it's hard, you know, like we're pioneering something, you know, Dtravel, TRVL, we're pioneering cross chain agnostic, a chain agnostic token across multiple chains and multiple protocols. You know, these are teething problems. So I don't think anyone should be too stressed about what we're experiencing right now, because we're pioneering something. These are the early days of the future. In the future, it's going to be very normal to have a token on multiple chains and multiple platforms and multiple protocols. It's not so common right now, and so obviously we're experiencing teething problems. Once we master this, we're going to be ahead of the game, and so we just have to be patient. I have the same troubles as everyone else. I have TRVL on the ETH chain and also on Binance, and it's a real pain. I usually transfer it on Gate. That's usually how I do the transfers. I send it to Gate, and on the Gate there's an option where you can send it on BEP20 or ERC20, and that's how I transfer it. I haven't found another way. I haven't discovered another way yet. So obviously if you're blocked in a certain country, that's going to make it difficult. I guess with Canada or in Holland, it's difficult. The solution I've found is the Palau ID. So if anyone doesn't know about the Palau ID, I highly recommend it. I'm going to show you. It's going to cost you, but I do recommend it. If you go to RSID, nope, my bad. If you do a Google search on Palau ID, RNSID, okay? So go to this website. It's called RNSID.ID, and it's called the Palau ID, right? It's going to cost you about $248 per year to register. I've done this, and basically what they give you is an official ID, and that ID allows you to change your KYC on the exchanges from your restricted countries to the Republic of Palau. And so what I did that with Bybit, and I've done that on Gate. Basically, I've done that on all the exchanges. I've changed my KYC from the UK, because the UK is restricted too. I'm restricted here. We're all restricted. So here you can't even access the exchanges. The websites are blocked. And so what I've been doing is I've got my Palau ID. It takes about 2 weeks to do, about 2 weeks. And so basically you pay, let me connect it so you guys can see. So you make a payment. I think I made a payment using PayPal. I connected my MetaMask. I think I'm logged in. I did a KYC with the Republic of Palau. And so basically it's all online. I did it with my UK driver's license. So I first paid, then I did the KYC of the UK driving license, and they did that. And then I uploaded a photo, this ugly mug here, and they approved it. So what they do is they do a KYC on your name and your ID to make sure that you're not on some kind of blacklist somewhere. Once they approve it, what they do is they'll send you a physical ID. Let me get it. I'll be back in a second. Hold on. So they'll send you a card, an ID card, just like this. Let me see how that looks like in there. See that? So it looks just like the one on the screen. It's like a proper ID card. It's like, it's proper. And so you use that card now to do your KYC with the exchanges. So you can, instead of using your license from Canada or UK or Netherlands, you use this card now. And then with a VPN, you're unrestricted. You have there's no restrictions on your account, because your digital residency is the Republic of Palau, and then the only difficulty is access, and I use a VPN for that. And then I've had no problems. I have no problems accessing any of the exchanges from the UK, which is heavily restricted. So, and then David's asking, can you use that Palau card to live in Palau? At the moment, no. I think you can use it to stay there for 6 months, but the Republic of Palau is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, quite far away. I don't know how easy it is to go. So look, I paid using the credit card, not PayPal, credit card. See, but you can pay using stable coin or crypto coin for your wallet. And there's ETH, there's BSC, and I don't know that Zinc, what that is. And here are the benefits. Oh, I've got a referral link. What I'll do is I'll chuck my referral link on the video. And maybe I can get some referral benefits if someone's interested to join. I think it's a really, I really recommend it. I highly recommend it. And okay, it's not cheap. You're basically paying $250 per year. But I highly recommend it. I really do. See, look, print status, shipping status, shipped. You've got my address there. Never mind. And then there's some kind of NFT as well. KYC settings on, open for third party to verify your profile. And then you can mint something. I don't know how useful the rest is, but for me, this card is very useful. And you can actually use this ID for flight reservations, for hotel reservations. You no longer need your Canadian ID or your Dutch ID. You've got the Palau ID. Right, so that's quite interesting. Definitely recommend that. Let me get the link, and then I can add that. I'm gonna add that now to my, I'll put it on the video, the live video. I've just added it now, and I'll add it to my video later as well. So that's quite interesting. Definitely recommend that. Highly recommend that. I haven't had a bad experience with it. Go back to the Telegram. Anyway, Cynthia says that we're going to be making TRVL available on other chains, and also creating a swap for anyone who wants to swap back to ERC20. So that's coming. So let's see what happens. Amir Ali is asking some important questions. How often are the community calls? Can I see experiences from the team? He asked a few questions. Number of the team members. He says Amir Ali is a host in Egypt, aiming for 50+ listings this year. That's amazing. I really wish Dtravel to work out. It is working out, don't worry. We're on track. I get scared from the possibility of being at the mercy of Airbnb. You should be scared. Correct feeling, correct emotional response. And I was targeting to create a website. I think Dtravel's perfect for this guy, Amir Ali. Well done for finding us. And then Eric says, let's have a chat. So Eric is the right person to talk to. If anyone wants to have a conversation about all of those questions that Amir Ali asked, Eric is your guy. And he's happy. He's going to help you. James says it'll be amazing to have 50+ listings. Yep, it would. I don't really see anything else. A lot of people are asking about revenue. I think one of the reasons why they're not publishing revenue right now is because it's relatively speaking quite small. Because we're literally at the beginning of the growth stage. And I think that growth stage will be expedited by Sensei launching. So I think what they're trying to do is hold off on creating any kind of fear or uncertainty by publishing that kind of data prematurely before Sensei is launched and before we see a real injection of growth. And I think that's probably the reason why. But in terms of percentages, the growth is significantly in terms of percentages. That's my thoughts. Smitty is saying, don't forget, I believe this time last year the price had a big move on the release of Airbnb's 2020 Q4 report. Not sure if you can really correlate the two, but the timing sure add up. Airbnb's Q4 report is next week. A lot of people are asking for revenue, but I honestly think the revenue isn't significant enough to warrant that kind of report, personally, because we're still early, we're still young, we're still at the beginning, you know. Let's see. Okay, that's Dtravel. Let's go back to the charts. David has shared the script on the live chat for the trading view, this script here. I'll put that on the stream as well. I'll put that on the link underneath the stream when I cut it out for TRVL. And I think everyone should just get this script and have a play with it. So let's all get onto this, because if the algos are using this, then we can use this too. You know, why not? To buy and sell, why not? Why shouldn't people use this? This is what's being used. I do like the way the price is moving up, to be honest with you. I don't find that unattractive. Already the 2-month volume is higher. See that? You see these candles, these green candles, and these 2-monthly candles, increasing volume, increasing prices. That is bullish behavior. That is what you want to see. You want to see increasing volume, increasing price. And so it hasn't increased greatly. That's true. It's only a 44% increase in value, and the volume is doubled, but that's a healthy rise. That's what you want to see. It just means that people are taking profit and the price is still going up, and that's kind of what you want to see. You don't want to see a situation where the price increases up in value but no one is taking profit, because the minute someone takes some profit and the price just dumps again, it cascades. You want to see people taking profit as the price goes up, and that's when you see the increase in volume. Yeah, and it's more likely than not the price will go up and then it just won't come back down. You know, it's more likely for that to happen. But I'm really liking the price action. You know, I think it's quite healthy. On the ETH chart, look, we're into resistance, but you know, we can, if we flip that into support, we've basically created an SR flip at the lows, and anything accumulated underneath that level is bargain. And look, already on the 2-month chart, we have a significantly high volume compared to the previous candles, and so at the lows, that's really quite bullish. Let me look at BTC. not as much volume, but we are above the point of control. So as long as we close above it and then back test it in some way for continuation. But I think when it comes to the BTC chart, a key level is this monthly level that I've marked up, this horizontal level. There's a bit of high volume there as well, and ideally it would be nice to put more volume at the lows here. I'd like to see this volume increase more, because I don't really want us to go up and then for this to become the point of control, unless of course the price flips that into support and goes up. So ideally you want the point of control to be lower in the range, but let's see. I think once we get above that monthly level, that's going to be quite a significant step for TRVL, and compared to Bitcoin, we're looking at a 50% increase in value just to get up there into the highs of this value area. If we are able in the future to flip the value area into support, you're looking at 100% increase in value against Bitcoin. And then if we are able in the future to get back to the all-time high, we're looking at a 500% increase in value over Bitcoin. So if you have 1 Bitcoin's worth of TRVL now at the all-time high here, you'll have 5 Bitcoins worth of TRVL. That's what that means. Good afternoon, Craig. How are you? How's it going? You well? Right. I think I don't really have much more